Okay, so before I grab my backpack and leave for my holidays, gonna last like week and a half, 2 weeks, depending on how long I'm willing to drive and sail, which is gonna be pretty cool. But before I leave, I want to share this matchup with all of you guys. I was just able to grab hold of this replay, and because of the players involved, I'm assuming it's gonna be a pretty intense matchup. So I'm just sitting down, gonna watch it for myself, and while I'm at it, why not record it and make a VOD of it? So here we are. Gonna watch this battle that you already seen who the players involved are. You've seen there on the chat. It's gonna be a clash between this blue Protoss spawning here on the south side of the Zanaga Caverns, LiquidHuK, Canadian Protoss player. Everyone knows the guy. He's been living in Korea for several months now, representing Team Liquid, living on the OGS house. And just spoiling it a little bit, as you guys know, Huck is now on Code S. Congratulations to him. He had the big fight, he had to battle his way all the way up. He struggled quite a lot, but now he's on that well-deserved spot, and probably gonna try to retain it for as long as possible. Once again, congrats to Huck. He's doing very well in Korea at the moment after having to struggle a lot and battle its way to the top of his game. He's gonna be facing against this red Terran spawning here on the north side of the Zanaga Caverns, who is IMMvp. I mean, everyone knows the guy. In my opinion, he's probably top 3 in the whole world playing Terran currently. He's such a solid Terran player. And as well, he struggled not long ago. He had a lot of problems and ended up playing on Code A, but he clinched his spot once more into Code S. I think it's well deserved. I mean, the guy is such a beast playing Terran, and having him on Code A wasn't deserved. I think he's solid enough to have a spot on Code S and fight his way amongst the best in Korea. I mean, we're talking about the mecca of Starcraft 2 and esports. Korea is the place to be, and is one of the top Terrans in the whole world, so not being on Code S doesn't make much sense, at least in my personal opinion. Okay, so taking a look at what the players are doing. As you can see, Huck always has a tradition of keeping his probe being as pesky as possible inside his opponent's base. He always tries to poke at as many workers as possible, and if you let him regenerate those shields, he's just gonna keep coming back and back up and try to abuse your workers, poke at them, electrify them with that electric shock as many times as possible, and you need to get some proper defense, or else he's just gonna be roaming around your base for eternity. On this situation, MVP was able to put him off. He's now taking care of the Zanaga Watchtower just to keep an eye on any kind of movements coming out from MVP base. While inside Huck's base, we have MVP's SCV taking a look at what's going on. Huck is going for a fairly standard opening, as you can see. Gateway into Cybercore. Is probably going to start ramifying his opening and trying to make his decision soon enough. For now, he's just trying to keep his options open and getting the gateway, chrono boosting a stalker out, so this SCV won't be lasting much longer. While inside MVP base, we have a 2 racks opening, reactor on one of them, tech lab on the other one, so apparently you're gonna have plenty of bio incoming, and we might be seeing MVP try to make a small push early on, just to make sure that Huck was able to gather some defenses, or else he's gonna break Huck in with a massive push here this early on the game. It's hard to defend. It seems like it's gonna be a nice bio composition here, just Marines and Marauders, also getting the concussive shells already set and ready to go. It's awesome to kite all those Zealots and Stalkers as well, and we do have the first Stalker from Huck coming out here trying to poke at that Marine force, but I mean 5 Marines might be way too much, and he's gonna have to run away, I'm assuming. He's trying to battle his way out. We have the SCV there from MVP getting finished off by that second Stalker, and now forced to pull back. I mean, LiquidHuK doesn't have enough here. There's plenty of Marines coming out of those 2 racks, along with some Marauders, as you can see. The concussive shells are already finished. He's now heading into the Steam Pack, so preparing all his upgrades to his Bioforce, and I don't think that Huck has enough here to try to harass anytime soon. Not even playing out of 4 gates, as you can see, it's on 3 gates at the moment. He was placing a pylon here on this corner, so I'm not sure if he was just trying to keep his options open, maybe make a fourth gateway and try to warp in some units to apply the pressure, but that's not going to be the case. 3 gateway, I'm assuming he might be going for 3 gateway expand. It's one of the staple builds currently. It's quite safe for Protoss players, but no, He's just saying, no, 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 you're wrong, totally wrong. I'm gonna get the robotics facility first. Still might be a good idea for HuK. Seems like that MVP is doing something similar. As you can see, he's getting his command center, grabbing the second gas there. So he's gonna prepare to grab his natural expo as well, while he sends his forces through this corridor just to make sure that the Protoss player is not getting any surprise into his side. As you guys could see, there was a proxy pylon getting built here on this little corner, but got cancelled. HuK just stated the obvious there. He knew that that pylon won't be lasting long, so no need to burn minerals in it. And we have a small battle here for the Xel'Naga watchtowers. We have HuK controlling both of them at the same time for now and getting map control, while inside MVP's base we're getting an early engineering bay. Interesting here. He still doesn't have much of a force, though he has a cute force to make a push if he's willing to. I mean, compare the armies, 14 Marines, 4 Marauders against 4 Stalkers, 5 Sentries. So HuK will have here plenty to do some force field play, but that's basically it. And IMMvp might be having here enough to make a push, maybe timed with the steam pack when it finished. And meanwhile we have HuK grabbing his natural expo as well, getting a nexus here, while inside his base he's getting some more gateways out, so he's be playing out of 5 gateways soon enough. Taking a look at MVP side, what else is he getting here? Command center orbital command almost morphed, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna lift it up and send it to the natural expo so he doesn't lose any time mining or delay his econ game, while he's getting that engineering bay, which might be a sign that he's gonna be trying to get some upgrades quick enough and maybe make a time push based on the upgrades that you have. For now he has that steam pack, and incoming he's gonna go down south, I'm assuming. Yes, he is, sending one first unit on the front, try to scout, but he's gonna get shot down. Poor Marauder, no chance against those 2 Stalkers. But now the bulk of the forces from MVP arriving on the Xel'Naga watchtowers and forcing those 2 Stalkers to run away. Seems like that IMMvp is just gonna try to make a cute push here. It's not a big force, but still might be enough if HuK doesn't have what it takes to defend. He's been making some forces, as you can see, 6 Stalkers just now, so he might be able to contain this movement with some force field play. There it is, Nar's force field line there, trying to contain the movements from MVP forces, forcing him to go all the way around and not have a proper concave to shoot down the units. MVP being forced to come all the way down south. He actually shot some of the probes on that mineral line, but now having to run away through this corridor here and trying to avoid the forces from HuK. HuK actually had a pretty nice force here, and with that force field play he was able to contain the movements from MVP and just thwart his aggression, his opposition. For now, we see HuK getting plenty of observers, it seems. There's already one here. Taking a look at all the barracks getting built inside MVP's base. Apparently MVP is getting all of his bio play incoming. There's no signs of mech, though he has a factory here with a reactor attached. I might be saying that the starport is going to make a switch and get some medevac, so he has a nice M ball. Yeah, there it is, that's the plan. And at the same time you can see HuK getting a lot of observers. There's one here, there's another here, so he is committing himself to taking as much scouting information and keeping tabs on MVP as he can. He probably just doesn't want to get caught by surprise by MVP. While IMVP is just playing out of his 2 bases, no worries whatsoever. We have HuK, he already cleared the rocks here to the access to this 3rd base. MVP leaving a Marine there to keep an eye on when he's gonna make a push into this area. But HuK now clearing the rocks here to the rich mineral field as well. So, decisions. I'm not sure which way is he heading actually. As you guys know, that rich mineral field is hard to defend. It's quite wide open. You need at least to establish some nice forces here on these areas to be able to contain the movements from your opponent. If they actually are able to reach this area here or this, there's a big line to make a massive concave, so that might be spelling trouble. And we do see MVP just heading his way down south with his forces, now clearing his own rocks apparently, or at least starting to poke at them. While inside his base, let me take a look. I saw the medevacs coming out here, and we have, ooh, cool, Ghost Academy. Ghost Academy is just so juicy against Protoss players. Those EMP rounds work wonders. Oh, HuK keeps losing his observers to those scans from IMMvp. And like I was saying, those EMP rounds from the Ghosts are such a nice add, a nice extra to your bio ball. MVP apparently is going to get ready to grab his third. He cleared the rocks here, so I'm assuming that he's going to take the chance to get his third on the rich mineral field. That might be the plan. While here on the HuK side, Robotics Bay is getting the first Colossi out, and there's already the extended thermal lens getting ready, and the Twilight Council on this corner, and the Forge. Ooh, he has some nice tech buildings here on this expo, and he needs to keep them safe, as you might imagine. Let me take a look. He already has a Colossus out, has 11 Stalkers, so I'm even wondering if he's going to get Blink, since he's getting quite Stalker heavy at the moment. Would be an interesting option. More Stalkers coming out there, so he's building a big Stalker force, while IMMvp is just finishing his command center, and he's going to get ready to grab his third. Nice unit composition. Let me take a look here. Seems like that he's reacting to the Colossi play from HuK. There's Vikings coming out of those starports, and you already have 2 Colossus there. What else? 27 Marine, 3 Ghosts, 12 Marauders. While on HuK side, what do we have here? Let me take a look. 11 Stalkers, 2 Colossus, 8 Zealots and Night Sentries, so kind of an interesting force. Supply 141 against 130. Balanced, not exactly even, but quite balanced. And now we have IMMvp advancing with his forces, trying to grab this third, but instantly HuK showing up here, and he's going to have to establish a forward position on this area if he wants to land that command center and start profiting from the income. As things are at the moment, HuK is positioning his forces here to the east side of this rich mineral field, and it will be really hard for MVP to be able to contain the aggression. He needs to break these forces from HuK, or try to get a nice position here on this area with some static forces, some static defenses would be an option. To be able to land his command center there and just benefit from the income. At the same time, you do see HuK grabbing his nexus on the rich mineral field as well, so he's not going to head into grabbing this one as his third. And well, it has his risks, but also it has his rewards. He's getting charged now for his Zealots. Does he have already Blink? No, it's actually interesting. He doesn't have that much of a Zealot count. Oh, now he's growing. Okay, he was very heavy on the Stalker count, but apparently he's changing now and going for that Zealot army with the charge getting ready. I'm assuming he's going to commit himself to plenty of Zealot play. We have the forces from HuK getting established here, as you can see. As you can see, MVP should do something similar to this, because if he wants to grab once again the command center here on this area, you need some defenses. Here he is, advancing with his forces all the way here, sending a poor guinea pig marine try to check where HuK forces are. He actually was able to reach this Zalaga watchtower, so he's going to have a pretty nice view to the forces of HuK, and now advancing south with this big bio force. Here they come, all of them advancing here towards the rich mineral field from HuK. This expo is still not finished. He needs to defend it. Oh, nice EMPs there, right on top of all of those Stalker forces from HuK, defending the aggression there. Well defended with a nice force field play. HuK trying to contain the movements of that big bioforce, but at the same time we have a small marine group trying to shoot down as many workers as possible on this natural expo from HuK, while the bulk of the forces advances here to the rich mineral field. We're gonna follow that small force on the picture-in-picture screen, and a massive battle ensues here. Well positioned, this Colossus trying to stay on the back and avoid the range from the Marines and Marauders, roasting all the forces from IMMvp. Impressive battle here. There's not much left from IMMvp forces besides the Vikings that were able to snipe all the forces from all the Colossus from HuK, but that was basically it. HuK still has surviving forces, as you can see, plenty of it, and he might be considering now to make a push into IMMvp rich mineral field, since he just was able to roast most of that bioforce with the Colossus play. There it is, HuK is positioning himself onto this area, incoming a lot of Zealots and Stalkers. There's an Immortal there in the fray as well, trying to battle out here, forcing IMMvp to cancel the production once more on this rich mineral field, and HuK just pushing away. This is going to be a nice hit here, a nice hit onto the income of IMMvp. As you can see, you have HuK just leading a charge by a big chunk there. IMMvp is even struggling to reach 1,000 minerals, as you can see on the income there, while we have HuK just boosting his way, playing out of 3 bases, and this is obviously a sign that IMMvp needs to get this base rolling. He has a lot of mules here, but if he keeps getting poked by HuK, this is not going to be good. He's going to have his economy interrupted a long time. More barracks coming out inside his main base. We also have the Vikings advancing. He has a nice Viking force to counter any kind of Colossus play that HuK might be attempting. Now getting the blink and also the armor level 1 for his forces, HuK. And meanwhile inside his base, well, here on the Natural Expo there's nothing else new. There's plenty of gateways, as you can see, 5, 6, 7, 8 gateways. And you're going to have another push advancing here once more into this rich mineral field, while we can assist HuK just trying to get a dark shrine up and get some DT play soon enough. Might be for a RAS. It's not very often that you see the DTs just mixed on the bulk of your army, you know. Usually they use for a RAS and try to poke at your opponent's mineral line, get some kills while we just get some multi-pronged attacks rolling. I'm not sure if that's the plan from HuK, but might be something like that, I'm assuming. There's a Dark Shrine already, right on the mineral line, but I mean there's not much left of the mineral line, so he's not very worried about it, I'm assuming. And we might be seeing some kind of a RAS with those DTs while he pushes with the bulk of his forces somewhere else. Ooh, nice blink there. The second he saw that Bioforce, he just pulled back and avoided taking too much damage onto that Stalker force. Look at the amount of medivacs that IMMvp has here. This Bioforce is going to be really hard to put down with that group. And now a nice, whoa, very nice blink there by HuK, catching off guard that Viking force, that Viking squadron, and actually able to pick off at least 2 of them. I do see now that we might gonna be witnessing pretty soon a drop into the main base from HuK. There they are, incoming medivacs loaded with marines and marauders, trying to snipe some of the buildings inside the main base from HuK, and HuK needs to react to this. Oh, he just lost his robotics, and now sending all his stalkers up here, try to finish off this harass, but there was a nice snipe there by IMMvp, finishing off that robotics and trying to stop the Colossus production for as long as possible. Robotics facility sniped. HuK will have to get another one if he wants to keep working on his Colossus play, and at the same time we have now MVP just going all the way south and trying to battle its way here in the middle of the map on the rich mineral field, trying to duke it out here against HuK, and now grabbing all of his forces, running away to this right side of the map. He didn't have what it takes. The Colossus were roasting most of the Bioforce, and at the same time you have the Zealots with charge and the Stalkers with blink, all of them just grinding down this Bioforce, and there's not enough from IMMvp to withstand the aggression here. Notice his upgrades are on 2-1 at the moment. Zealots, as you can see here as well, 2-1 for the forces of HuK. So balanced on the upgrades on both sides, with HuK getting now the level 3 and trying to pull ahead. Gonna make a push into this rich mineral field from IMMvp. IMMvp doesn't have much of a defense here. He does have some Vikings to snipe that Colossus, and now we have a big Zealot force trying to charge its way into the forces from IMMvp, crushing most of it, while a small drop occurs into the main base once more from HuK. You can follow it on the picture-in-picture screen, and we have the bulk of the battle ensuing here. IMMvp doesn't have much of a defense anymore. There's a big difference there on the supply, 121 against 84 at the moment, and he's just pulling all of his workers to try to contain the forces from HuK from advancing more, for harassing even more, and buy him some time to get some more units out. But at the moment he's not even close to the required forces to defend, and he's just witnessing HuK entering the ramp to this main base. Nice blink over those supply depots, and now starting to destroy the production facilities. Massive damage done here. Also MVP was trying to make a drop of himself onto that main base from HuK. You guys could follow it on the picture-in-picture, but it wasn't very successful, and forcing MVP to GG out of this match. Impressive play here by HuK, very well played, was able to contain the aggression and was able to try to make this solid push after he had that big battle ensuing close to his rich mineral field, in which MVP just came out on the short end of the stick. He didn't have enough forces, and Huck just roasted most of it with a nice Colossus play, but also those charge lots, used as buffer to grab and try to get as much damage on them as possible while the Colossus and Stalkers were roasting everything from the back. Was a very well thought out decision and unit composition by Huck, and it paid off well. He just took the win out of MVP hands. So congrats to Huck on this victory. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I'll be back soon enough. Gonna take some vacations, enjoy the sun. See you all later.